offensive line. Gary Bohannon will be shooting shortly after. Take questions from each.
How y'all doing?
Good. Demetris, what was the team's reaction to Gary being named starting quarterback?
I think the team was happy with it. I feel like we felt like Gary proved himself throughout the camp, since he got here, summer workouts, grit score. It was a tight battle too. It just wasn't like Gary ran away with it. It was it was a tough decision, but I think the decision that was best for the team. So I think everybody's happy with the decision.
When did you kind of know, all right, looks like Bohannon's going to be the guy?
I honestly didn't know until Coach Scott told us yesterday. But like I said, both of them made great plays throughout camp. Both of them worked hard. Gary pushed Timmy, Timmy pushed Gary. And then we was waiting, just like everybody else was waiting. When we found out, not shortly after, like everybody else found out. So, yeah.
Obviously, a decision like that is pretty seismic, and then to have the news come out that Timmy's entered the portal shortly after compounds onto that. Just what's everyone's emotions about losing a teammate, a guy who was a starter last year and led the team last year?
It's tough. It's tough losing anybody, especially quarterback. But it's, the toughest thing about quarterback is only one. Offensive line is 5 of them. Your receivers, D linemen, they kind of rotate. But quarterback, it's only one guy. We wish Timmy was still on the team. It kind of stung us. But he felt like he did what was best for him and his future. And we wish him nothing but the best. But the train got to keep moving. So.
What is it about Gary that this coach said when he talks, everybody listens? What qualities does he have that allows him to do that?
It's just that leadership. We joke about it. We say he got the moxie. It's just obviously he's been at the highest level doing it at a big time stage. So he brings all of that experience over here. And then he blended in first day with the guys. He works hard. He stays extra. Y'all heard the story. First week he stayed here 10, 11, 12 o'clock, trying to learn the play. 2 weeks he knew the playbook. So when we out there running 707, when we out there doing just player ran stuff, and you got this, you got that. Hey, no, you got. It's this dude really wants it. And so when you see that, it's I can get behind this guy, and we can do something special this year.
Is it the thing where as a player you respect him so much you want to play well so you don't disappoint him? Is it that kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely. Offensive line, we protect anybody, whoever's back there anyway. But when you see somebody busting his tail, trying to make us better, it just makes you go just a little bit harder, just a little bit more. Because it's I can't let him down. I can't let the guys next to me down. I can't let the defense down. So it's just playing that complimentary ball, that brotherhood, just best is the standard. Just everybody playing for each other, all in. We all in. Everybody's all the way bought in. Everybody's competing at a high level, and we try to make everybody better.
When you look at your offensive line, speaking of experience, I think you're either the top school or one of the top schools.
We're the top.
You talk about starts. That's got to be a nice feeling.
Definitely. We just wanted to do something special. We all could have left. We could have, probably tried for the league. We probably could have transferred anywhere. But we we want to do something special here. Just uncommon. Anybody, y'all won 2 games last year. Y'all need to go. It's no, because we knew what we had, and it's not a lot of the offensive line has changed. It's been the same line for the past 4 or 5 years. So just we're gonna stick it out one more guy. I'm talking to Brown, I'm talking to Donald. Let's run it back. So especially with them guys. Then you got Trey and Justin Hall, Mike Lofton, Darrell Betty, bringing in those guys as well. Just teaching those guys the way. So when we leave next year, the train keep rolling.
How hard was it to get used to playing at that lightning speed they're going to play at?
Say that one more time.
How hard is it to play at that speed where you just want to be snapping the ball every 20 seconds?
It's tough. Coach AJ, Coach Artis, our strength and conditioning coach, the gases that we ran, just the conditioning, just the start and stop, just practicing, just Coach Trickett implement his new offense. It's tough. It's definitely not easy. But we know what we want at the end of the year, and we know that to get something that you want, you have to do something that you haven't done before. And so we're like I said, we're all bought in and like we're prepared for it.
Coach mentioned how the defense had been dominating, then you guys won the practice today.
Yeah.
A, is that good news? I know that's not what you prefer, but to have that challenge from the defense,
Yeah.
were you guys motivated to, sort of?
I mean, our defense whooped us on Saturday. They out the frame, and we was like, man, we know how good we are. It's still, I mean, we're almost done with camp, about 2.5 weeks into BYU, but it was like, man, we're better than this. So we came out today. First drive, we took like a little 10-yard hitch to the house, and then like that just kind of sparked it, and we just kept rolling all day. But the defense, with Coach Shute and what he's bringing something new every day. It's never the same thing. So that's going to prepare us for the BYU, the Florida, the Louisville, the Cincinnati, because he's bringing something new every day. It's never the same look. We just got the good end of the stick today. That's all.
And then one other thing he brought up was the grid ranking with Gary, number 2, and
Yeah.
Bud, Brad Cecil,
Yeah.
number 1. Has something gotten into him? I mean, he's been around. He knows he's going to play, but it looks like he's even more motivated. Maybe.
Yeah, like I said, and he coming off the shoulder surgery too last year. So we just motivated. It's like I said, to get something that you want, you have to do something that you haven't done before. And so even though we're 5th year senior, man, I'm just going cruise tonight. No, we pedal to the floor. We hitting the gas. The RPMs are going up. Once they see the seniors and the leaders pushing, even though it's their last year, it's like, man, I remember when I was a freshman and I saw these guys pushing, man, when I'm a senior, I'm gonna push like them so the young guys can see it. And that's basically how you start building a program. It's like nobody is just taking, it ain't no cruise control. Everybody's pushing, even though we know Brad's about to start, but he's still pushing. I know I'm about to start. Gary just got named QB1, and he's still pushing. We still pushing the envelope. So just building the culture.
You have talent on offense at the specialty positions. Your offensive line is experienced. Having a guy with Gary's experience to pull it all together, what's that going to mean for your offense?
It's great just having somebody that's already proven and played at the highest level. Conference championship, 12-2 last year, Sugar Bowl. And the thing about Gary, when people talk about last year, he rode the bench for 3 years at Baylor, and I know he still has something to prove, and he got his opportunity last year, and he proved that. And so now he still plays with a chip on his shoulder. He still works out with a chip on his shoulder, even though all the 6 that he had last year at Baylor. He's like, man, I'm about to bring that over here because we haven't been hot lately. So just bringing that experience, what he knows, and just kind of mixing that in with Coach Scott's culture, it's going to be special this year for sure.
Obviously, you've hinted at it a little bit. This is your last ride. This is it. There's no more COVID years, no
Right.
more redshirt years. Has it hit you yet?
I'm trying to think about it, but I think I first started thinking about it in January, man, I got 12 more months, and then you look up, it's March, it's like, man, I got 9 more months, and then it's summer, it's 6, and then it's August, September, man, it's almost done. So I just try to live in the moment. I just try to I try not to think about the future. Plan for the future. Expect for the worst. Prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
Expect. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just try to live in the moment, man, and just try to enjoy it because once it's gone, it's gone. And so just every day, just trying to cherish this moment with these guys, and just trying to leave USF in a better place than what I found it.
You've been here, like you just said, 5 years. So you've done a lot of practices. What
Yeah.
was it about that one day where Gary spoke in front of the team? What was that vibe like for you in particular? And then what was the change for afterwards?
So my freshman year was Quentin Flowers last year. So I was here with Flowers, Valdez, and Dejan Sinai, all those guys. I redshirted, I didn't play, and I remember some of the times where practice got a little, and Quentin was just, hey, and Quentin didn't talk a lot. He played big, but he didn't talk a lot. But when Quentin talked, it's everybody listened. And it was, okay, man, Quentin said it, like, we got to go. And like I said, Gary just got here in the summer, and when Coach had brought it up, about a week ago, and he was about to say, like, Coach Scott was about to say something, and Gary stood up, he like, nah, we got to get this thing right. And like I said, it just goes to a testament to his leadership. I mean, he came in 2 months ago, and he's already leading the team. So, I mean, some of that comes with the quarterback position, but everybody see how hard he worked. Everybody see him in the training room. Everybody sees him doing extra, leading the young guys like Byram and Morris. Just like, you have to respect it. And for us just to buy into it, like I said, he missed right in. It wasn't like, no, he kind of like the new guy. Like, first day, he missed right in. And like I said, when you see somebody working so hard and pushing it, and you know where he's trying to go, and you know where he's trying to take us, it's like we can get behind that.
And then, do you guys talk about before even Gary was named the starter? Do y'all talk about how he how Baylor was 2-7, not he, but as a team 2-7 and 12-2? Do y'all see that vision? Like, do y'all talk about it often, or what is that?
It was it's great that you brought that up. So just today at the scrimmage, I was talking to Gary, and I was like, Gary, because we do the thing like called the safe seat, and so he go up there, and Coach Scott, asked him a few questions, and I mean, Coach Scott kind of like touched on it before he left, and like the year before he was, Baylor was 2 wins, and then like they won 12 games, and fall camp, Gary had said that the first scrimmage was kind of, defense had won, kind of similar to Saturday, how the defense, got an outtail. And then Gary was named QB1 at Baylor, and he said the next practice, it was like their best practice ever. And then you look at today's practice, correlation don't prove causation, but I mean, it's kind of just like, man, it's crazy how, it kind of aligned. This is our best offensive practice, our best scrimmage that we've had probably since 2022. And it's crazy kind of like how it just aligned. I mean, I don't know if you believe in the stars and all that, but it's crazy how it kind of happened. So, I mean, we had that exact conversation an hour ago.
What do you call that, the thing you were just talking about,
The star, the constellation.
Safe seat?
Safe seat, yeah.
Safe seat?
Yeah, safe seat, yes.
And that means that they bring you to the
Yeah,
top?
so basically safe seat is, because like we have a lot of new players, everybody don't know everybody.
Some guy goes in the front of the room?
Yeah, some guy kind of like me, and then Coach Scott will be right here, and
Talk to him.
So like name, where you from, biggest adversity, because I mean, new guys coming in, new people leaving, everybody don't know it. It's 100 and however many people, and it's kind of hard to know everybody like on a personal level. So we do that safety, sometimes it gets vulnerable, sometimes it gets deep, personal, but it's like, if I know my teammate, I know what might make him tick. I know what to say, what not to say. Sometimes somebody don't need to get cussed out for motivation. Sometimes like, hey man, like let's go, like just little stuff like that. Just getting to know your teammates.
Are questions asked that are different kind of questions, like you wouldn't normally hear? Or?
I mean, for the most part, it's about the same. I mean, like Matos went up there the other day. I mean, he has a very unique story. I mean, coming from Dominican Republic and just his whole transition from baseball to basketball to now playing football. So, I mean, those are kind of like the one-offs. I mean, you got like a Joe, like he's from Canada, came down here. So it can go, it's really like no set boundary. It's just, like an array of questions. Yeah.
It could go in a crazy direction.
It could. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, but yeah.
With Gary being named the starting quarterback right about 3 weeks before the BYU game,
Right.
is this the first time in your 5 years as an active player you knew who the starting quarterback was going to be 2 to 3 weeks before week 1? Unless Blake back in 2018.
I said maybe Blake back then, but I mean even then it was still kind of
Right.
But yeah, I mean we're solid with Gary. I mean, I would say yes to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah, yes to answer your question. I mean, like we know that Gary, week 1 against BYU. I mean, knock on wood, Barry like in the injury, like he's going to go out there with the first team offense.
That's got to be very meaningful to the offense, perhaps a load off your collective shoulders. This far out, and Jeff had mentioned that he you don't want to go in the BYU week wondering, okay, is it Timmy or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of tough. Cause like I said, it's only one quarterback, and they play their play styles are similar. I mean, one's right-handed, one's left-handed. One's a little bit more experienced. I mean, like they're both good players, but it's like, man, who is it going to be today? Who is it? For offensive line, it really don't matter. We got to block, no matter. I mean, it could be Joe Blow back there. We still got to block. But just knowing that Gary's back there and he's going to lead our team, it's like all right, we know 11 back there. We good, you know.
That's got to help the team in the room too.
Definitely. I mean, definitely like, hey, Gary's the guy, and there's no confusion, there's no rumbling. Like, man, I think Gary's the guy.
Is there anything that changes when you have a right-hander instead of a left-hander?
Me personally, I don't think so. Maybe for the tackles a little bit. Interior is about the same. I mean, I had played center in the spring a little bit. I played center the whole spring with Brad being out. But I don't think it's nothing different. The protections are still the same. The calls are still now. Maybe for the quarterback, his rollouts and maybe his reads are a little bit different. But for the offensive line, I mean, run left is run left, run right is run right. It don't matter who back there. So good. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.